I think they're delusional. I just think they just don't see. They're just stuck in their little BBC bubble. And they can't see what we can see about it, you know. Hi, it's me again, and everybody knows the BBC isn't as good as it used to be back in the day. And this is coming from me, remember, the bloke who's got a whole YouTube channel that's anti-BBC. I will freely admit that back in the day, the BBC was brilliant. You know, what other channel would have made Only Fools and Horses? You know, and all the stuff in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, it was all BBC that led the world. And now they're nothing. They're falling apart at the seams. They're untrusted. And it's not just people like me saying this. The classic BBC people are saying it too. Take a look at this story. Peter Purvis can no longer trumpet the BBC's truthfulness, and he has accused the corporation of destroying our trust in its integrity and its lack of bias. Yeah, the BBC bought that man's house. It put food on his table. It paid for his wedding, for his holidays. You know, so for him to turn against it and say they've lost their way, that's important. That's important. The 82-year-old presenter, who was one of the hosts of the iconic BBC children's show Blue Peter for 11 years, shared his views on the back of the BBC's annual report, revealing it lost 1 million licence fee payers over the last 2 years. In a Twitter exchange with writer and broadcaster Sue Cook, he said, "Sad about this, they have destroyed our trust in its integrity and its lack of bias. Back in the 60s, 70s and 80s, I was proud to trumpet the BBC's truthfulness as I travelled and worked around the world. I could not, in all honesty, do that today." The BBC blamed the drop on a change in viewing habits, as well as now having to compete with new and existing streaming services. Now, I couldn't disagree with that more, and you hear this line a lot from the BBC where they say the reason licence fee funding or payers, the amount of people paying it, is dropping is because of competition. I wholeheartedly disagree. People are prepared to pay if they feel they're getting good value for it. I've got loads of streaming services. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, and most of them for research for this, but, you know, because the missus likes, like bloody Disney Plus we pay for. You know, what's that, $5.99 a month? Amazon Prime I pay for, not particularly for the TV shows. I get Amazon stuff, but the TV shows is a bonus and we use that. You know, you've got Netflix, you've got Discovery Plus. You know, you've got YouTube Plus that we pay for. You know, it's crazy. People are prepared to pay, more than ever, directly pay for it. But the reason they don't want to pay you, BBC, is because they don't think they're getting any value for money there. You know, I watch a Netflix show every day. Every day at some point Netflix is switched on my TV or on my phone or my tablet. At some point. But BBC, I don't even think twice. I don't even think twice. I wonder what's on the BBC. Because I know there's nothing. You're not offering value for money, and that's why people are leaving. And not to mention all your threatening tactics and all your dodgy letters. Offer good value. Offer good stuff. People will pay you. It's that simple. It's the basics of business, isn't it? Offer something people want, people will give you the money for it. Done. Former Doctor Who star Peter's views are supported by ex-BBC comedy writer and director Roy Gould, who said, "Sadly, I feel the same way, Pete. I find it all rather heartbreaking." Former Crime Watch presenter Sue Cook added in a Twitter conversation, "So much trust has been lost." Yeah, and this is a public discussion on Twitter. This is why I probably didn't see it, because I don't use Twitter. About the BBC, by people who worked at the BBC in its heyday. You know, this is important and it says something, and the BBC should be paying close attention to this. Following the publication of the annual report, a BBC spokesperson insisted it remained the most used media brand. Now, I mentioned this in one of my other videos, I don't know if you saw it, where the BBC said that line, they're the most used media brand, and 90% of the people in the UK access a BBC service once a week. I want to know where they got that number from. I do. Most used media brand. I could not disagree more. The most used media brand's got to be one of the social media companies now, isn't it? I would imagine more people use Facebook and Twitter than BBC in a week. Sadly, that is the sad state of the world, obviously. Use YouTube more. There's a really good channel on there called ChilliJonCarne. Stick with that. The spokesperson added, "We know there is more to do and we are committed to providing brilliant value and a great service for all audiences." Again, they keep spouting that. They want to do a great service for all audiences, but they bumped off BBC Three when it was actually quite popular. Now they're having to go to great expense to bring it back. They've come out publicly and said they're not going to make any programmes specifically aimed at people over the age of 40, even though the over 75s must now pay for a TV licence. We're not going to make anything specific for you. You're not offering great value for what you do, and you are not providing a great service for all audiences, BBC, are you? I think they're delusional. I just think they just don't see. They're just stuck in their little BBC bubble, and they can't see what we can see about it, you know. In March, it was announced that the government will be forced to rely on the current BBC TV licence fee model until 2038. That's not right. What's all this about? While a government spokesperson said the licence fee would be reviewed before the end of the current charter in 2027. Yeah, so what's this about 2038? In March, it was announced that the government will be forced to rely on a current BBC TV licence fee model until 2038. But the TV licence fee model could be abolished in 2027, because that's when the next charter review is. It could just go at that point. I'm not sure. I'll look into that. I haven't heard that one before, about 2038. I'll keep looking at it. The BBC said, "We welcome the conclusion that the licence fee is the best way of funding a universal BBC." Is it though? I just don't think it is. I've said over and over again, there's better ways of doing it. Scrap off all your TV channels and keep BBC One if you want, and keep your BBC News if you want, and make them commercial. Everything else, all your shows, throw them behind a paywall on iPlayer and charge people £5.99 a month, whatever you feel is fair. And people will tell you if it's fair by subscribing or not. And then if they want to watch EastEnders that night, they'd have to pay for an iPlayer subscription, and people would. Or they can catch the omnibus on a Sunday on BBC One on the telly, but full of adverts. So it makes perfect sense, and that makes so much more sense than a TV licence fee, doesn't it? Forcing people to pay for something they may not need, when you could do it and make more money and make better stuff by not charging them directly, by asking them if they want to pay, by having a subscription model and some free TV channels and selling advertising. You know how to sell advertising, BBC. You've got UK TV, you know, the Gould and Dave, covered in adverts, absolutely flooded with adverts, and profitable. What's the problem? I don't see the problem. And now you've got your ex-BBC presenters from your heyday telling you that it's all over for your news and no one trusts you. Come on, it's time to make the decision, BBC. Do something. Come on. Phone me. I'll come in for a meeting. It's fine. Me and Alex Belfield and Smug One and a few other people, we'll all come and have a lovely meeting with you, and we'll hammer this one out. What do you think? It's not going to happen, is it? But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below what you think the BBC could do going forward and what you thought of my ideas. Let me know in the comments below. I do read them all. I don't get time to reply to them all, but I promise you I do read them all. While you're down there, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything to do that, and it keeps you up to date with my latest videos. Hit the like button if you like the video. All the other stuff people on YouTube say at the end of all their videos. And I'll see you in another video again soon. Thanks for watching.